This is going to be a quick video on how to do a solder T-tap. It's a good way to be able to connect two wires together without cutting the main wire in half. It allows you to be able to not only solder a connection to a wire, but also to add heat shrink to it, so it's protected. I'm going to use this red wire here. Let's just say it's a power wire. Take your wire strippers, find the appropriate size gauge. You're going to strip back a little bit of the insulation to expose the wiring inside of it. Basically all you do right there. If you need to trim away some of the insulation, that's fine, no big deal. Take and strip about an inch or so of the insulation off the wire that you're going to attach. I always like to kind of twist it just to keep all the strands together. You're going to fold your wire around the source wire, and then what I do is pinch it and then twist. Then at this point you want to go ahead and solder your wire up, and it works really well if you go ahead and tin the tip, and that's just to add a little bit of solder. It aids in the heat transfer between the soldering iron tip and your wire. I go underneath the wire, right on the junction where the two wires meet, and you hold it there for a little bit depending on how hot your soldering iron gets. And then once the wire's hot enough, it will actually start melting the solder and pulling it down through the strands and create a very good solder connection. As you can see, it's pulling the solder down through that connection there. And that'll do it. You got a really good solder connection there. Super strong, it's not going anywhere. You want to take a wire tie and run it around and just below your solder connection. If the wire gets pulled, it's stopping here at the wire tie and not your solder connection itself. You want to take a piece of heat shrink and put it up over that, and then shrink down your heat shrink. Now you have a solder T-tap. Your main wire was uncut, so the strands is one continuous length. Your wire that you're adding to it is now soldered, and you can heat shrink it, and that's all there is to it. It's a good way to make a solder connection onto a existing wire without having to cut this wire in half. Hopefully that helps somebody out.